Well, this is my new to me 1978 Chevy C20 Custom Deluxe. It's kind of in rough shape, needs a lot of work, so we're working on it. Anyway, been doing a lot of work to it. Just got through replacing the axle seal on the opposite side. But today we need to replace the parking brake cable, the rear one on this side. Once I take the wheel off, you'll see the cable's been probably snatched on something, or something happened to it. It's all messed up. So we're gonna get started on it. So we'll set up the camera and show you the process. So the next step I'm going to go ahead and do is loosen up the brake pads on the brake drum. Wouldn't have to necessarily do this as the next step, but I'm going to choose to go ahead and do that now. I'm not going to, there's nothing for me to really show you on the video. I can't really show you. If you're not familiar already with drum brakes and how to adjust them, I probably should educate yourself on how to do that, on how to loosen or tighten drum brakes. But at this moment I'm going to go ahead and loosen it up, and then I'm going to start taking the nut off for the both nuts off for the bearings, and then we'll pull the drum off. I think I will show you how to loosen them, just so anyone watching this video that doesn't know knows how. But I'm going to wait till I actually get the drum off to show you guys, because at this particular moment there's no way I can actually really film it. I could, but I'll explain it once I actually get the drum off. It'll be easier to see and understand it better that way. Okay, after a little bit of fighting with it, I got the brake shoes backed out. Now the drum's spinning freely. It was already kind of extremely tight for some reason. I don't know why, but it didn't seem as loose as it should have been, that's for sure. So anyway, but they're loose now. Now we'll proceed to take the drum housing off. Okay, so now we got to take the lock nut off. But there's these little metal tabs here. They're bent over, supposed to keep it from turning, so we got to take those out of the way. Well, just bend them back. Now, there's a special tool for these nuts, and I have the tool, and you'll see me use it later, because it's kind of nice to have when you put this back on. The bearings need to be retorqued to certain specs to get them seated properly. I mean, in a emergency situation, you can probably do it without it. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people that have done it without it. I've actually done it without it on another truck, on the 65 Chevy. Of course, back then that was just because I didn't know any better. I'm going to do the proper process on this. But I'm just going to show you that you can take it off without the tool, and thus reinstall it without the tool as well. You just bend the little tabs out of the way. I think technically these tabs are supposed to be bent over in here, but depending on where the nut is, it doesn't always line up. That one there was kind of bent in, and that one was a little bit, I guess. I think it was. Okay, so you can just take a screwdriver or a punch or whatever, seat it on there. Now if you see these little indents here, you can line it up, and sometimes it'll get you more room. You can get in there more, like that. And just spin the nut off, like so. Then you have this comes off. And this is last nut here that's actually tightening down the bearings. Okay, now in theory, as long as I have the brake shoes loose enough, I should be able to pull the drum off. So I'll get you zoomed out and we'll show you that. Now this is going to be heavy, but we're going to try to get it. Okay, so we got the drum off. Not looking too bad, not expected. Brake dust and all that. I don't know, hopefully that wheel cylinder's good. I know that when I worked on the opposite side of the truck, the wheel cylinder, brake wheel cylinder, had looked like it was a newer one, had been replaced. So that one looks like it's been on there for a while. Shoes look like they're about done too, but not quite, but just about. But anyway, we're going to replace all that anyway. So, other than the wheel cylinder, I guess I gotta find out if that works or not. Assuming it should. I don't know why the brakes are so tight, but the truck was braking okay. So, anyway, so here's the inside of the drum hub assembly there. Wheel seal was, the axle seal there was starting to leak, you can tell, but it wasn't real bad. It was just barely starting. Or I should say it was, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the opposite side of the truck. It was basically dumping out, just because the whole drum was coated in grease. Gear oil all the way down here was all gummed up and everything. So, in fact, there's the pads that came off the other side. Oh, and I should mention this little washer here. That was after the last nut I took off. This was back there. I forgot all about it when I pulled it off. I just now found it on the floor from when I was carrying the drum over to the back of the truck. So anyway, don't forget about that.
that should have had a C-clip on it. That's weird. It shouldn't have just fallen off like that, because that should have been attached to the shoe. I almost wonder if it either broke or came off, or someone lost it and put it back together without it. That's weird. Huh. Well, okay. That's unexpected. Why is that so tight? So I've never actually figured out exactly how these are supposed to go on. It's always hard to tell in the pictures. This one here is down on the, pointing down at the bottom. I guess I'm thinking that's the correct way. Now the other side of the truck was really easy to take this off. I don't know if this one's going to be the same or not. I'm hoping it is. And it was. That's nice. Alright, now that this is all stripped down, I'll probably go ahead and remove the bad parking brake cable. And then we'll have to clean all of this up. Now that's the part that's no fun, but it's gotta be done. Alright, so now with all of the brake shoes and all of that removed, we're going to go ahead and take out these bolts right here that hold the parking brake cable into the backing plate. Okay, and then we'll just remove it like that. Now we have to undo the other end of it. Okay, so under the truck here, there's where we're all messed up there. That's why we're replacing it. Kind of dark, I know, but looks like there's some kind of a clip holding it here. So we'll have to remove that. And then the cable comes out here. And it's just going to be done by pulling it back and pulling it out of the little hole there. Now, if there's too much tension, well, there shouldn't really be no tension because it's disconnected, so you should be able to just pull on the cable. But if for some reason, like, let's say this cable was seized or something, you could probably get away with, you could just loosen it up down there at the adjuster. Alright, so that's all disconnected. We just got to get that clip out. I can't really set up the camera in a good spot, so I won't show removing it, but I'll show you once it's out. Alright, so we got the cable out. Just this little clip here pulls out. What I did was I clamped on that with vice grips, and then used the, those pliers. Those are curved ones. Probably could use straight ones. Grabbed onto here, the little tab on the end here, and just wiggled it back and forth till it came out. So that's how I did it. Anyway, might be a better way, but that's just how I did it. Okay, so we got the seal here on the back, the hub drum here. So we're going to pull that out. You can see it was probably starting to leak a little bit. Well, it probably was. Not super terrible, just a little bit. But anyway, and under normal circumstances, I don't know, maybe it's normal to see a little bit of something, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and replace it. First we're going to pull it out, and I'm going to take the hub out and the drum and clean it all out because there's brake dust and a little bit of grease and stuff in here. So anyway, so I have a seal puller. This is not the correct one for this. It's not the right size. I don't have one the right size. No one in town carried one the right size when I was working on the other side of the truck. I went into the auto parts store and asked them if they had a bigger one, and they're like, no, we've only got a small one. It's a normal size one. So I don't really feel comfortable using it on here like normally, although for some reason it seems like it's fitting on this one a little bit more. That's kind of strange. I find that odd. When I was working on the other side, I couldn't even get it to fit. Alright, well, we finally got that stubborn seal out. In the process here, starting to clean everything up. So yeah, that seal was pretty stubborn. I tried using my seal puller, which again isn't even really the right size puller tool for it, but it just wasn't going to budge. I tried using crowbars and different kinds of bars. And then finally I just had to get a block of wood and lay down in there that was tall enough, and one of the pry bars, and then stick in there and then beat on the bar with the hammer. Go around, work around it slowly, and pop the sucker out. So anyway, so that's taken care of. We're just doing cleanup now. So anyway, I'm getting that knocked out. Sprayed the backing plate and all that down. I'm going to change that wheel cylinder just because I don't think it's an older one, and well, it doesn't look like it's been changed recently, so it's showing signs that it might be starting to leak. I don't think it's like leaking bad, but I'm just going to go ahead and change it out, put a new one in there. Being that with the full floating axle where I got to pull the axles and everything to change it, I don't want to have to redo all this process if I don't have to in the near future, so at least not right away anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace that, so I don't have to think about that, don't have to worry about that to start leaking or whatever. So we're going to be getting to that here in a moment as well, but just a matter of getting everything cleaned up and that wheel cylinder replaced, and we can get everything put back together.